Hi, and today I'm going to tell you about the Umayyad Empire that was one of the most powerful Islamic empires. It expanded rapidly to become one of the largest Islamic empires. When did they rule? They ruled from year 41 to year 131 after Hijrah. So they ruled for around 90 years. What lands did they rule? At its peak, the Umayyad Empire had a population of around 62 million, which was 30% of the world's population. They controlled the Middle East, parts of India, Spain, Algeria, and North Africa. Their borders spread to nearly 6,000 miles. Who was the founder of the Umayyad Empire? Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan established the state after Hassan ibn Ali gave up his position to him to avoid conflict amongst the Muslims. Therefore, Muawiyah became the leader legally and according to the rules. He had been governor of Damascus under the leadership of Abu Bakr and Umar, so when he became the leader, he moved the capital to Damascus. He was known to be one of the greatest leaders of all Umayyad leaders. He has a lot of experience in administration and politics. He was just and liked by everyone. He loved fighting for Allah. He was a scholar and related many hadiths, some of which in Bukhari and Muslim. The contributions of the Umayyads. The Umayyads made several important contributions to the Islamic Empire. They expanded the empire through dedicating a large part of the income on military, giving salaries to soldiers and their families. They established towns on all of the fighting fronts and encouraged people to move there. Supplied them with necessary stockpile of equipment for the conquests, built many fortresses, built a navy and various ports. They preserved Islamic knowledge for generations to come. They established many institutions teaching Islam, making sure it was not destroyed or changed when spread to far-off lands. They unified the large empire. They created common coinage. They spoke different languages in all of the countries they ruled, and Arabic became the official language. All of the local languages were replaced by Arabic. They standardized weight measures. They brought back the revival of sciences and literature. They advanced in industry and manufacture. They built great buildings such as the Umayyad Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. The strongest leaders. Al-Walid bin Abd al-Malik. He built many mosques, road systems, he dug wells, and he made the biggest conquests of his time. Sulaiman bin Abd al-Malik was the next great ruler. He had a lot of taqwa, which means he was God-fearing. He carried on the good work of his brother Al-Walid. In Morocco, he sent Musa bin Nusayr and Tariq bin Ziyad to conquer Spain, Andalus, and sent Maslama, his brother, to take lands from the Byzantine. People enjoyed a great era of conquests, development, and peace. The next great ruler was Umar bin Abdul Aziz. He was a great ruler of the Umayyad Empire. He was known to be pious and just. We will cover him in another video in more detail. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
कार्स 24 पे आओ और अपनी ड्रीम कार पे बड़ा डिस्काउंट पाओ।
Muslim countries frequently make headlines for their attacks on freedom of expression, sexuality, education, or anything considered pro-Western. But few people may know that Islam once embraced these institutions in a period of history scholars refer to as the Golden Age, which notably coincided with the European Dark Ages. So what exactly was the Golden Age of Islam? Well, most historians understand the Islamic Golden Age as a period of history under the Abbasid dynasty, which ruled from the 8th to 13th century. At the time, Islam was only about a century old and concentrated in the Arabian Peninsula, the Mediterranean, and North Africa. Once the Abbasids took over and formed a caliphate, the capital was moved to Baghdad, and Islam spread to other regions. The Abbasids were inspired by verses from the Quran and Hadith that emphasized the value of knowledge rather than just religious devotion, and they strongly pushed for advances in science, art, and commerce. One of the most unique features of the Islamic Golden Age was its inclusivity. In Baghdad, the ruling caliph created a house of wisdom. Here, Christian and Jewish scholars were invited to join their Muslim counterparts to share ideas, information, and creative work, which was all translated into Arabic. These scholars carried out a variety of state-funded research projects, resulting in the Islamic world's first astronomical observatory and one of the most detailed world maps of the time. The House of Wisdom also fostered a considerable amount of scientific, philosophical, and scholarly works. Many Golden Age scholars put their studies to practical use, particularly in the field of medicine and healthcare. Physicians and philosophers wrote medical encyclopedias and textbooks that were used for centuries. One famous Persian physician was the first to differentiate between smallpox and measles. By the 10th century, pharmacies were a staple in most Muslim cities, and hospitals stayed open 24 hours. This era even saw a sort of universal health care, as hospitals were forbidden to turn away the poor. The period also gave way to some of the world's first universities, as well as countless works of art, including architecture, literature, and poetry. The Golden Age also saw the foundation of Sufism, which is a mystical Islamic philosophy that promotes peace, education, and philanthropy. Millions of people still adhere to Sufism, and the practice has been promoted as an alternative to radical forms of Islam. Most historians mark the 13th century as the end of the Golden Age, when Genghis Khan and his Mongol army conquered as an alternative to radical forms of Islam. Most historians mark the 13th century as the end of the Golden Age, when Genghis Khan and his Mongol army conquered much of East Asia, including the Islamic Caliphate. In 1258, the Mongols destroyed Baghdad and the House of Wisdom, anecdotally throwing so many books into the Tigris River that it ran black with ink. The Caliphate was completely demolished. Had history played out differently, there's no telling what Islam would look like today. India is one country hoping that Islam's peaceful roots like Sufism will help break down the negative stereotypes surrounding the religion. To find out more about the mystical philosophy, watch our video here.
Sufism arose less than a century after the founding of Islam. At the time, many Muslims were
types surrounding the religion. To find out more about the mystical philosophy, watch our video here.
Sufism arose less than a century after the founding of Islam. At the time, many Muslims were concerned with the religion's increasing materialism, which they believed would interfere with a spiritual connection with God. The word Sufi is an Arabic term for mystic, which itself was derived from suf, or wool.
Thank you for watching Seeker Daily. Please like and subscribe for new videos every day.
करून वस्ता के गुलाम जंगजू जिन्होंने सबसे पहले अपने आकाओं को ज़ेर किया, फिर मंगोल आंधी को शिकस्त दी, इसके बाद सलीबियों को ललकारा और फिर एक अजीम मुस्लिम सल्तनत की बुनियाद रखी।
The Ayyubid dynasty was a Muslim dynasty of Kurdish origin.
من المهم أن نتأمل مسلك